myself and you. And welcome back to another episode of the Anime4All podcast. We are here. I hope we didn't run out of talking points. The pre-show. Shout out to
Brazil.
There you go. That is not what I want to be showing there, but whatever. So I guess what we'll do. I guess we talk about Daima because last week we didn't get to say much with Daima. On the whole, interesting episode. Goku went Super Saiyan 3. And also lost the pouch of bugs that he had. I wonder where that landed. Also, I guess on the topic of those bugs, so there was actually, I was watching a reaction channel and like they brought up something interesting that I guess I didn't really think about too much as we're leading up to this point. Everybody's expecting the fusion bugs to be important and integral to what's going on later here. But the question that was brought up was like, are we assuming that Goku bought the bugs, or did he actually buy them? Like, did he actually take them with him? That was an interesting question because I don't remember if he. Like,
I remember him buying them.
They actually bought them? I thought he just like picked them up and said, "Ooh, what are these?"
No, I think he bought them. I remember him buying them.
Okay.
He's gonna find them. I know he dropped them and it looks like he's lost them, but he's gonna find them.
Well, someone's gonna find them. Who knows if it's gonna be him or not? Actually, on that topic too, some people have been bringing up some interesting situations to actually get them to fuse. Because I will say, something I have overlooked, and it's something I'm very sad that I keep overlooking. Vegeta is very anti-fusion. There's no way Goku's gonna get him to bite on that thing to fuse. He doesn't like fusing with Goku. He's pretty much made this very, very well known. And neither does Goku for the most part. He only really does it because it's his last resort. But Vegeta's very anti-fusion. This has been a consistent thing with him in any media. Like it takes you like really really just begging and pleading him to go Super Saiyan to fuse. So I don't know. It's like somebody probably like, what if like they were like Vegeta? Because Vegeta did ask for like a bug to heal. What if Goku accidentally gave him the fusion bug and they fused?
That'd be pretty cool.
And I thought about that. I just thought about that. Like that'd be actually kind of funny because like it'd be the fastest way to get Vegeta to fuse and without him belly aching about it. Because he wouldn't know it was happening.
Here, eat this bug.
See, but no, Goku would have to not know that he did that. Like, even though I'm pretty sure Goku respects Vegeta enough to not trick him like that, so I'm suspecting Goku would not know that the bug was the bug of the fusion. So I'm hoping that maybe they all look the same. Is my theory, but I don't think they all look the same. So I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, it seems kind of weird. I don't know. I don't remember. You say you remember him buying the bugs. So I'm gonna go with you on that he bought the bugs.
I think they were bought for him. I mean, Goku doesn't have any money, but
oh, that's true. Glorio did,
yeah.
No, excuse me. Golirio or whatever he called him at the time.
Glorio. So,
but that was an interesting fight so far with like Goma and the Third Eye. I have to agree with a lot of people. I was not expecting that Third Eye to be such a power up.
Not that big of a power up.
It's big enough that it causes Goku to go Super Saiyan 3, and no one could really fight him. They had to fight him as a group. I know that they're kids, but it's like, right, like even they're still as strong as they were as an adult. They just have like a tiny kid body.
No, they're not as strong as they were as adults. They've made that pretty clear.
But even so, it's like this is like end of Buu Saga Goku in the game. This isn't like end of Z the very last episode Z, or even
Yeah.
close to like Super. They didn't even taste the power of a god yet. I still think this is a significant power up for a lot of reasons. Just because like it took Goku going Super Saiyan 3, and normally he doesn't like doing that because of how much power it consumes. And I don't even know how long he's gonna survive. I mean, he's gonna last Super Saiyan 3 because all the media I've ever seen of him going Super Saiyan 3, even as a kid, he doesn't ever stay in that form a lot longer. I think as a kid he stays in it longer. At least in GT, I think he does. I don't know if they're gonna use GT measurements to give him the edge of a Super Saiyan 3 there. Like, I highly doubt that. I think the freaking I don't think Goma's like really the challenge. I think it's the eye that's really the challenge. But what was interesting is that another group of people I watch had brought up that is like this eye is kind of an issue for only for one reason, is that if Deborah had gotten his hands on it, like it's like it seems like a lot of people agree that I don't think the Z gang would have been able to defeat him. Though I will say with the caveat, Deborah wasn't really defeated by any of them. He gave Gohan a run for his money, and Deborah wasn't even really trying. He was just eaten by Boo because Boo decided to turn him into a cookie. Wait, was it a cookie or a chocolate? I forgot what he turned. He turned him into a sweet and ate him.
Cookie.
He turned him into a cookie and ate him.
Like a really big cookie.
So we don't really even know what Deborah's like power level would have been, or how strong he would have been if he had actually fought. But I will say this much: I'm gonna use Sparking Zero, the recent Dragon Ball Z fighting game that came out, as actually a measurement for how strong Deborah was. At least in the fight that I participated in with Majin Vegeta, well, Vegeta, not Majin Vegeta, when I had Vegeta not succumb to the power of body, you end up fighting Deborah as Vegeta. And I mean, I noticed in canon, but I'm gonna use this as a measurement because like Deborah was actually kind of a hard fight to do.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Deborah was actually kind of difficult. Like he wasn't super difficult. Like I still wouldn't compare him to fighting Majin Buu because that was ridiculous.
I remember they were embarrassed when Gohan was fighting him, and that like Goku said like he's not even that strong.
Well, we're also living in an era where people can hide their magic power, hide their level, and on top of that, we do now know that magic power cannot really be measured in the same way as like ki. So it's possible that Deborah has very low ki, but has a lot of magic power. But because we didn't know magic was a thing, well, because Goku doesn't know magic was a thing or something that could actually be measured power wise. It's possible that Deborah just had way more power than we realized. But even with that, what I'm gonna do is like, cause like somebody that same group actually kind of like put it in an interesting way that would make sense. That Deborah could have actually had been the same power class as Cell, Perfect Cell, at the time he was introduced into the show, to make him weaker than Majin Buu, but also still make him kind of a problem for Gohan because Gohan hadn't been training. Because like Vegeta did say that at that point Gohan was weaker than he was when he fought Cell as a teenager. So like that would actually make a lot of sense why Gohan had a hard time, even though Deborah wasn't really trying. All Deborah was trying to do was just trying to cause injury to give more energy to Majin Buu. So Deborah wasn't really trying in that fight. All that being said, Cell was pretty strong, and if Deborah was his power class, that eye that he never got his hands on, would have probably made him as strong as Majin Buu. I think that might be generous, but I feel like that's the right level for him to be at if he had the eye.
Who had the eye? Deborah?
Yeah, Deborah.
Okay, I think you said Cell for a second. That threw me off.
No, Deborah and Cell were kind of, I think, somebody said like Cell and Deborah were kind of the same power level. Deborah without the eye, and then compared to Cell, I think they might have been the same power level. Because Gohan had a hard time, but at the same time, Deborah wasn't really trying. All Deborah was doing was trying to cause injury. So, if Deborah had gotten his hands on the eye, it would have boosted him to near or at the same level as Majin Buu. Now, I'm not sure which Majin Buu we could compare him to, but I'm gonna just, for argument's sake, we're gonna say Kid Buu. Like, it would have boosted him up to that level. So Deborah would have been an actual issue if he had gotten the eye, but we know he didn't because the cockroach thing that I never talked about last time actually got the eye and then died. Ironically. And then that dude got it and put the eye on his belt. I'm surprised he never tried to put that on his forehead. I feel like that'd be the type of thing that little blue, I don't even know his name.
Yeah, I know what you mean though.
Like, I was surprised he didn't put that on his forehead. Like, I feel like that would have been the type of thing he would have done. He just put it on his belt. I'm surprised the belt didn't transform. Like, that would have been an interesting little... That would have been an interesting thing for that to happen, is that his belt transformed. And he was like, oh, what the heck? My belt looks cool now. Yay! But, but I don't even want to say, yeah, the fight was good. The animation was really good. We have 3 more episodes, I believe, because the last episode's supposed to air on February 28th. Yeah, we have 3 more.
Oh, wow. I wonder what they're going to do with 3 whole episodes. I feel like everything's almost wrapped up now.
Well, we're getting there. I suspect the Goma won't be around much longer than I guess is on Rinsu. Oh, I guess speaking of the Glens...
I'm guessing that the whole 3 episodes is just them fighting Goma now.
What about Rinsu, though? Think they're done with her now?
She's fighting Goku too. Goma too.
You think she's just gonna give up the Dragon Ball? She already said that she wasn't.
No, but I think like a lot of the episodes, I think a lot of the screen time left in the series is going to be them fighting Goma. Maybe they'll trade that eye for the last Dragon Ball or something. I don't know.
I guess they could do that. Don't know why they would want to do that, though.
Well, who's going to use the eye otherwise? Piccolo?
Well, if you're talking about canonically, no, but I mean, in our hopes and dreams. I mean,
then I'll have 4 eyes.
Nah. What would that do to a human, actually?
Make him Super Tien. Tien deserves an upgrade. They should give it to Tien.
They should just give it to Piccolo if they're going to give it to anybody. I think Piccolo deserves it.
And Piccolo deserves it too.
But I like the I don't know if you caught this, but this is something I kind of caught. I'm not totally sure this was on purpose or not. But when they talk to Aransu for the first time, and you know they're talking to each other, and then Nahare comes out from behind them. Clearly, first of all, apparently she didn't know he was there, but that was interesting. When he popped out, well, what I found interesting was that when he was talking to her, and then he was smiling, and his eyes got all squinty, and he's got that creepy grin, and his earrings glinted a little bit, not glinted, like gleamed a little bit. Didn't that face remind you of the first time he showed up in Dragon Ball Z when they didn't know who the heck he was, and Piccolo was afraid of him? Like, didn't that face remind you of what he first did when he showed up out of nowhere? Because I remember him doing that. I remember that face stuck with me.
Who?
Shin.
Oh yeah, it did stick with me too.
Like that face that he did in Z.
I had the same thought when I saw that.
It was like one of the weirdest things. I was like, what in the world? They had him do the original Z look. What is I wish that had amounted to something. I really wish it did, because that would have been an awesome callback.
Yeah, it would have.
Not that I'm saying it wasn't an awesome callback right now, but it's like, I feel like he had something up his sleeve. It was one of the weirdest shifty eye, creepy grin, glowing earrings I've seen. Like, he hasn't done that look in years.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just such an interesting thing to see again. Like, it really stuck with me when he first did it, and then he did it again. I was like, oh my goodness, that's the look he had. But maybe that was just like a small like Easter egg for people who caught it. I don't know. it was just it was such a cool thing to see him do, because Shin hasn't really been, for all intents and purposes, Shin, Nahare, Supreme Kai, these all his names. He's like, when he got introduced, he had an intimidation factor. He doesn't have that anymore. Like after actually he lost it soon after meeting Goku in the gang. Really, if you really think about it, the only person he really intimidated, and he didn't intimidate him for long, was Piccolo. After that is like he kind of became a goofball who didn't really know who he was dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, it's like he's supposed to be a watcher of Universe 7, but didn't know about Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, Krillin, Tien, like all these fighters. He didn't know about any of them. So it was just like, it seems kind of weird. Though I guess the explanation that they give for that is that he believed, and this was an explanation that kind of came out when he was talking to Beerus, is like, Beerus just yelled out that you're the one who said that he didn't want to interfere. He thought it was best for the universe to grow on their own. So I guess that'd explain why he didn't know about these strong, capable fighters in his own universe, but still. Yeah, part of me just really wishes that, you know, he had his intimidation back, at least. At the very least, like, let him have back his intimidation factor, but unfortunately, he no longer has that. Like, this is the only time he'll probably ever have it.
Yeah. He's relevant in this world because he has so much knowledge of it and connections.
Yeah, and after that, he'll be going back to what was before. Useless.
Not relevant.
And I really don't like that, because this particular show showed me that I actually did like Supreme Kai, and they ruined him on purpose.
Yeah.
It was like, man. And now we know about Irainsu and Degasu.
I was kind of lukewarm about Supreme Kai. I never loved him or hated him.
I mean, it wasn't like I loved him, but it was just one of those things. Like, it was so nice that
I was okay with him.
But they had these otherworldly beings that, you know, that weren't on the same playing field as mortals. But you had these people that were higher leveled. But I guess like it's one of those things. Like I realized, it took me some years, but I realized that the trope with at least in Dragon Ball Z in particular, is that no matter how high level you are, you're goofy as all hell. I don't understand that's why I guess they're trying to make them more approachable. I don't know, like every single a deity that they've shown in this world is goofy in one way or another. Like none of them are really all that serious unless you're Beerus, but even Beerus is goofy.
A little bit. He's a little more complete of a character.
He's still kind of goofy though, and I feel like those like characters just show out more than his serious side. Like, the guy falls asleep, and I don't know if that's a gag with him. And what I mean by a gag with him is if he's just falling asleep and he's not doing that on purpose. Unlike
the highest angel is pretty serious.
Oh, you talking about the Grand Priest?
The Grand Priest is a pretty serious character.
I'm trying to think of anything he did goofy, but yeah, you're right. I don't think he done anything goofy.
And some of the gods of destruction and angels have not been goofy yet. Let me put it that way.
I don't think we'll ever see. I mean, Universe 11's God of Destruction, that clown dude, you could say he was goofy just based off his look.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and the angels seem to be carefree.
Yeah, but I could see how you'd call Whis goofy.
Well, I mean, I also like, out of all the goofiness I love seeing, I think I actually enjoy Whis' goofiness a lot.
Yeah.
Because it's like, Whis is carefree, nonchalant, but he's well aware of what's going on, and he just doesn't care. He'll intervene.
He's so out of like the league of all the other characters that nothing is like concern for him.
Yeah, he just doesn't seem to care. He'll only intervene if Beerus tells him to, and sometimes he won't even do that.
Yeah,
but it's just like, you know, I enjoy his aloofness. Is basically it's like it's clear that he's really strong. It's clear that he's been around for a while, and he just doesn't care, and he just loves eating food. So it's one of those things where like, oh, it's cool to see. Like, I mean, I'm actually kind of glad they introduced characters like Beerus and Whis, even if Beerus, I guess I will say like Beerus isn't all that goofy. I will agree with you there, but it's like I feel like he still has a lot of goofy characteristics, even when he's not that
His
goofy.
moments, like when he was sleeping and sneezing and destroying planets and stuff like that, or the way he gets about different foods.
Yeah, it just seems like when they introduce a god, they never keep him serious. I mean, I understand probably why, because they want to use him later, but they don't want the power gap to be a problem, so they make him just goofy just to help out with that process. But still, it is like, man, it'd be nice to have like, it'd be nice to have a non goofy god at least once, you know. But you know, I don't even know if I would even consider Zeno goofy. They just seem to be more childish. So I guess there's that.
Yeah,
But
Zeno's kind of terrifying.
I think what's really funny about Zeno is the fact that he's really childish and he has all this power. And what makes him terrifying is because he's a kid with all this power.
Yeah,
You don't want to piss him off because it's like,
he's probably like millions of years old though too, even though he acts like a kid.
I don't know if he's acting like a kid. He could just actually be a kid. I mean, we don't know the age dichotomy of this world.
Yeah, but I mean, like he could be extremely old, like very, very ancient.
Yeah, I mean, he has to be ancient, but it's just one of those things. Like, just Zeno is like. So I guess not all deities are goofy, just the majority of them. Either that, or like when they get introduced, they're intimidating for a few episodes. And after that, they're not intimidating anymore. I feel like a lot was stolen from Shen, or like when Supreme Kai when they introduced him. I feel like they should have like maybe would have been a better way to utilize Shen during the Buu saga. Wouldn't have been having him at the tournament of power. Like he shouldn't have been there. Basically, maybe like Supreme Kai was on a reconnaissance mission or whatever like that on Earth. He might have just been on Earth. But he wouldn't have been at the tournament of power. He wouldn't have been at the tournament. I feel like he should have been someplace else, and like maybe he was doing something, and Piccolo would have still like caught wind of him maybe at some point, possibly, I don't know. But they have fought Spopovich and Yamu. Something happened to Videl. Like all those events would have happened. I don't think Supreme Kai needed to be there. I guess maybe other than to like get Gohan to listen, because Gohan would have gotten in there, tried to stop Spopovich. No, crap. You need to be there for that specific moment. Yeah, I don't know. Like maybe they should have like I don't know. I feel like Supreme Kai could have been used better, but maybe that's just me. I feel it was like allowing this opportunity, considering who he's supposed to be. That you know he doesn't get a lot of respect for his title.
It fits right into the lore though. Like he came in there being cocky because like normally he'd be way more powerful than anything on Earth, and then like he's blown away by like the most powerful mortals that have lived anywhere in a long time, other than like Jiren's universe.
That's an interesting concept. Like, how powerful was Jiren at the time of the Buu saga?
Probably about the same.
Are you sure? I don't know if he would have. I feel like he would have been weaker by that point. He still would have been stronger than all of them, but you know, he wouldn't have been like the level of strength he had during the Tournament of Power.
What makes you think that Jiren gained any strength? What did he do that would have gained him strength?
He spent all his time training and pretty much yelling about strength this and strength that. He had to have been pushing himself during that time. Like all the way up to that point, like Jiren's attitude towards strength wouldn't have changed. Not until he met Goku in the gang, and that didn't happen until years later.
Mm-hmm.
So he lost a lot of people from the way he was talking about and how he always like kept to himself. Jiren was always a loner for the most part, and he kept growing. I mean, Goku said that Jiren got all that strength by himself, and a part of and I think Goku admired that because Goku always there were various levels of power that Goku always attained, and he always said that I think he specifically at least Super Saiyan God transformation. He specifically says this during that movie that he doesn't like this power because he wasn't able to get it. He wasn't able to get it by himself. So it's like one of those situations like Jiren just got power all on his own. I don't think Jiren would have been that strong. I mean, it possibly could have been. Who knows? He could have been that strong. Part of me doesn't think that's the case. He would have definitely been stronger than everybody in Universe 7, but I don't think he would have been the same level of strength that he had during the Tournament of Power. I feel like that would have been completely pointless. But who the heck knows? And I can't outright sit there and say that that's not the case.
Yeah.
But with that, yeah, there's 3 more episodes coming. Next episode's Goku versus Super Saiyan 3 Goku versus Goma. That's gonna be a light show.
I think Goku's gonna lose.
Well, I mean, he kind of has to. There's 2 more episodes beyond that.
I think it's gonna take fusion. That's why I think the bugs are gonna stay in play.
I guess they could have fallen out, and he didn't. He doesn't remember what they look like, and he tosses a bug at Vegeta. I still found it weird that that sign on the bugs that looked like there was 3 to become 1. A lot of people are very confident that it's 2 become 1, but it's to me that feels kind of boring.
Now, who's the third that they would fuse with? Piccolo?
That's the problem. I would hope it was Piccolo, and my theory that it might be Piccolo. I mean, this is a stretch. I'm not even gonna pretend that this isn't what I'm about to say. But during their fight with Goma, both Goku, Piccolo, and Vegeta kind of were in sync with each other as they were fighting and landing blows on Goma. It was actually very cinematic. It almost seemed like it was on purpose. But at the same time, I know that's a stretch because there's no way that's saying that those 3 would fuse if there was a 3-person fusion coming up. But I don't know. It's what would be different between Goku and Vegeta fusing with the bugs? I don't understand what. Unless there's something, I don't know, what's the bug fusion gonna be got that's different from them just doing the dance or the Batora earrings, which by the way, they have the earrings because of Supreme Kai. They're on his ear right now. So it's what would be different than?
Well, the Supreme Kai's fusion is supposed to be permanent, but I forget what the ruling on that turned out to be.
No, that's not permanent. They could easily put that retcon that they did, which is that for humans, if you're not Supreme Kai, it doesn't permanently fuse you. Oda Kai said that there's a time limit on it when you're not a Supreme Kai.
Okay.
So it's he said that yeah, he said that during the Zamasu thing, I think, if I remember correctly. Because again, Vegeta complained about fusing with Goku. But again, it's I just don't know. It's what would be? This is my argument against it just being on just those 2. It's what would be so different about? But I guess another thing too is does it have to be Goku and Vegeta? If it has to be 2, it'd be awesome. Because I was just going on this rant about well, not rant, but my hope and whatever. How I kind of wish that Supreme Kai was a little bit more useful. What if Supreme Kai and Piccolo were to eat those bugs? And hear me out. Those bugs, those bugs are supposed to triple the amount of power. I think triple the amount of power between the two when they fuse, right?
Would that make them even as strong as Super Saiyan 3 Goku, though?
I feel like it would. Maybe it'd make them even stronger.
Not a lot. Piccolo and Shin are not very powerful.
I like to make an argument that I think Nahari's really strong. It's just that he's not like a fighter. He doesn't really get involved in a lot of like, he hasn't really fought anything seriously. And that's why I find it hard to make a judgment on his power level. Because we've never seen him, like, we never see these deities fight. I mean, other than
You talking about the old Namek?
Hmm?
You talking about the old Namekian now?
No.
Okay.
I mean, actually, that'd be an interesting little thing. What if Piccolo and Neva fuse, and then they use the opportunity to use the powered up Piccolo to fuse with the bugs?
Because Piccolo with Neva, I think, would be really amazing.
What would Neva give to Piccolo?
All sorts of mystical knowledge. We don't know if Neva was a good fighter when he was younger either. He knows how to make a good fighter.
There's that too. Oh, speaking of Neva, before we move on, I love that old man. When they went to go fight Gova, Neva just goes up to Tamagami 1 and just like, wink. He's just like, huh?
It just gives him an old head tilt.
He's like, huh? Like, wink. It's like, me? Wink. It's just like, I was laughing so hard. Because this old man was just, this sly guy, like, so far, he's had some of the most interesting scenes out of all the characters in this show. Because he's just kind of there for the most part. Just like, he does his thing and then he gets out, and he never really sticks around too long. And I like that about that guy too. It's like, he knows what he's there for.
Yeah.
The winking thing really got me though. I was laughing so hard. But I guess with that, we'll find the next episode. I just don't know, cause like, well, like I guess like, well, lastly, like I don't know what in the world, what would make this fusion any different than the other two fusions that we've seen and grown to love. I can't think of any amalgamation of their names that would be different than Gogeta or Vegito. I don't know. It feels like to me like maybe there's a red herring thrown in there because we're so used to Goku and Vegeta fusing. There is Gloria.
Gloria? Who's Gloria gonna fuse with Bulma?
No, I think Piccolo.
I think Piccolo's a lot stronger than Gloria.
I don't think it's a matter of how much stronger he is. I just think that Gloria's magic abilities would give Piccolo an edge.
Gloria has magic abilities now?
Are we not? Are you forgetting about the lightning?
Yeah, I don't know. That wasn't that big of a deal.
I think it was. I mean, I don't think we've seen lightning attacks like that in Dragon Ball Z. Not in a while. I think the last time I ever saw something like that or competent, it might have been Dragon Ball, and I don't know who it would have been. Maybe Tien? But even Tien was like, eh. I don't even know if Tien even has lightning. Maybe the Dodon Ray ain't lightning.
What about Thunder Flash attack from Pycon? Oh, that's fire.
I'm sorry, that was Whiplash. Like, that was very fast. Sorry.
What?
The moment how fast you backed off from it, I was like, jeez. I didn't get a chance to really comprehend any of it. Okay.
I was Googling a picture of it to confirm it was like lightning as I was speaking.
Yeah, I could see that. No, it was so fast I couldn't even comprehend it myself. There had been like a lightning attack at some point in Dragon Ball. I just don't know who it would have been.
No, I don't think there was.
I don't know. I find that hard to believe. It's like, well, they're more basic and more like really flashy, like elements to use. Maybe
But
they
who
didn't.
fights like that? Who fights with elemental attacks? Nobody.
Wasn't there a flame attack besides Pycon? Or Magic Net?
I mean, Pycon's not technically canon either.
Isn't he? I thought. Okay. Hmm.
It depends on what you go on. He's not. He doesn't appear in the manga.
I probably must have fight you on that. I feel like he did. But I'm not. I can't. I don't have the resources right now to look all that information up right now. But I'm gonna go with you on the fact that he didn't show up in the manga until I had time to look it up. Which, AKA, I
Well,
won't.
here, they say it really early on in this wiki article that he doesn't appear in the original Dragon Ball manga. He appears in Dragon Ball Z Fusion Reborn, but that's not a canon movie either.
That's strange. So that arc with him in the other world tournament was anime only?
Yeah.
Huh. Weird. That's really weird. Hmm. Okay then. Let's solve that. Yeah, I don't know. I guess like I guess it's gotta be Vegeta and Goku, but it's just I don't know. Again, I still find it difficult. Like when we're gonna get Gogeta? I don't. I guess I could go Gogeta because Gogeta doesn't get a lot of use. He only ever gets used in movies. Yeah, that's just about it. Gogeta only ever shows up in movies. It's Vegito that gets used in the anime for some really weird reason. I don't know why they relegate Gogeta strictly to movies. I get that he's really powerful, but they don't have to make him that powerful. Like reality world breaking powerful. Cause I don't even think Vegito can like break reality. I mean, granted, Vegito's never been in a fight long enough for us to show us that he could. I don't know if he could, couldn't.
Yeah.
But so far, Vegito's never showed reality breaking abilities. So like, it's just one of those things. Like I feel like they don't necessarily need to make Gogeta that powerful, but they do anyway. I guess we'll have to see. I don't know. I just don't like. It feels like to me. I've always had this strange like, what is so special about the fusion bugs? Like they don't really tell you other than it makes you 3 times more powerful. I was like, I would really like this to be a unique fusion that we never see again. And right now, I'm not getting any of those. I'm not getting any of that information.
It's got to. You agree though that it's got to be fusion that they use to beat Goma.
I don't know. Like I mean, Fusion's never been successful at beating the big bad. I was gonna say like Gogeta and Broly, but no, Gogeta didn't defeat Broly. Broly got wished out of there. No, he killed Janemba. Never mind. Gogeta killed Janemba. Vegeta never defeated. Well, no. The guy inside Super Buu, they defused.
Mm.
And Gotenks was just fooling around.
I'm sure that the fusion beat somebody in GT that we're not thinking of. One of the dragons or something.
The dragon Gogeta fought. He was winning, and then they defused. Because Super Saiyan 4 used up more of the time on the fusion. is what the canonical world explanations for why they defused.
Mm-hmm.
That I remember because I remember it happening and it being a cool moment, and then it just wasn't anymore.
Seen Dragon Ball GT as extensively as I've seen the others. I think I've seen it through like twice.
I probably watched Z more than I've watched GT. I think I watched GT twice for sure. I'm pretty sure I watched Z. Probably maybe I only watched Z through twice, but I know I watched multiple episodes over and over again, I believe. Because as far as I remember, like, the fusions never did anything. If anything, that was like during Akira's phase when he wanted to just do things he wanted to do for gag worthy or whatever, you know, just for a funny joke. And a part of like why the fusion dance was goofy was because it was just a joke. And part of the reason why the fusions always were like overconfident or whatever was for the joke too.
The fusion dance got used a lot though. That joke kind of backfired if it was just meant to be a joke because it becomes fundamental in like a lot of ways.
Yes and no. I mean, it's not like Gotenks really did much. I mean, let me backtrack on that. Gotenks really did push Boo, and that's what caused Boo to need to fuse to, you know, absorb them. So yeah, Gotenks did do something there. Vegito kind of pushed Super Boo to the point where he needs to absorb him too. So yeah, I guess the fusions did do something in anime, even if they were just gags.
Yeah.
I only say they were gags because like it was during a time when
Trunks and Gotenks fused too. Don't forget.
Hmm?
Trunks and Gotenks have done the fusion dance a few times too.
I was gonna say Gotenks did something a little bit.
Yeah.
Gotenks does not show up any time later on in the series. It's clear too that the animators know that fans want to see an older Gotenks, but they just don't want to give that to us.
Yeah.
They're doing it on purpose now. I mean, the closest we got was a fat one, and I'm like, really now? Really, you had to give us the fat Gotenks because I think it was Goten that messed up the. Wait, was it Goten that messed it up?
It's always Goten.
Dang it.
It is. Trunks doesn't mess anything up.
Though it's kind of funny on the opposite side. Whenever it's a messed up fusion dance for Goku and Vegeta, it's always Vegeta that messes up.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it's kind of apt that like that's where okay. Yeah, I guess about it. I can't really say much. I just like the fusion, but I'm still hung up on that. But we'll see what happens next episode. I don't think the next episode's gonna be the fusion bug. I would be so shocked that that's what's gonna as the next episodes. That's where they're gonna go. But they still lost the power to, and Goku's gotta go find it. Though that little blue dude could probably find it. He finds things like really quickly. I notice. So I guess I had to see. Okay, next anime we're gonna talk about, show we're gonna talk about really quick is Rurouni Kenshin. Very, very, I guess, low stakes, as some people would call it. Not much really happened here other than quick to-do list. Kenshin comes off the mountain. He's in the town. He overhears that there's some things going on within Kyoto. He gets he helps a little girl with a ball that she loses, like a toy. He manages to catch it for her and gives it back to her. And the mother just thanks him. As soon as that happens, a police officer, who I keep forgetting that there's an abolishment on swords, so anytime they bring it up, it's always like oh, that's right, that's illegal.
Everybody and their sister has a sword wandering around though.
No.
You either work in a restaurant or you have a sword. It's like basically you can divide all the characters in Kenshin into one of those two categories.
No.
Sometimes it's both too. Sometimes you work in a restaurant and have a sword.
I mean, there's Saito, there's Kenshin, well, there's the 10 swords, and then there's Shishio. Okay, never mind. I wouldn't consider Yahiko and Kaoru having swords because those are just bamboo sticks.
Yeah, but Yahiko works in a restaurant.
I don't think he handles any blades. But yeah, to
But he
the
worked in a restaurant. You either work in a restaurant or you have a sword.
what about Sanosuke?
He had a sword. True.
Okay,
You're so annoyed.
okay, hold up. I had a thought. I was on a train. Oh yeah, like so, the police catches him. Well, catches him, quote unquote. He was, I'm gonna take you, and like this is illegal to have a sword. He's like, oh, that's right, police officer. Can you take me to the nearest police station? That was weird. Was really weird. Then we pan. I think we pan over
Why was
to.
that weird?
At the time, I thought it was weird because I was like, huh, why does he want to go to the police station? That
Because he
seems.
was going to a police station anyway, I think.
Nope. That was not my assumption. I thought he was just wandering back to Karo, but maybe you're right. We go over. We I think we pan over to. I think the next thing that's important is. Wait, yeah, do we go back? Do we go straight to Saito and Sanosuke's little thing? I think. I guess we go to the police station that Saito's at. Let me really quick just make sure that I'm remembering this correctly because I'm having a hard time remembering. So make sure. Yeah, okay. We go back to Saito and Sanosuke, and they're interrogating one of Shishio's men, who they apparently have caught, and they essentially, well, Saito threatens him pretty brutally with breaking all his bones into pieces, and then he threatens to split his eye open, but gets the information he needs from him about like the Kyoto fire. And this is where our heroes find out about the fire that they're trying to do.
Yeah, that fire plot twist was kind of cool.
Oh shoot. Oh yeah, they found out about the fire, and then Sanosuke like, why don't you go get why don't we get something to eat? We can't do anything about it right now. He's like, you go eat by yourself. Saito
He was
needs to.
just trying to get a free lunch. That's why he kept trying to go to eat with him, because he was going to leave the bill on him.
Well, I'm sure Saito could figure that out. But Saito thinks he's got something to do. He goes talk with Sho from like Ten Swords. Sho just kind of just says, yeah, there's gonna be a fire. Yeah, don't bother me about it. But he brings an interesting point. Like, are you using them as a cover? I'm like, that's interesting to think about. Like, what's Cho? Yeah, what does Cho gain from telling them anything? He's still gonna be locked up. It's not like him telling him anything was gonna like get him out. But then Sanosuke tries to get a free lunch from Saito, and Saito says, go get your own food. He walks off. Saito then is like apparently smoked through his entire cigarettes, and he's upset. But we can tell, I guess, just by that he is concerned about something by this point, which you find out later on what he's concerned about. And then we go from there to Shishio's gang, and apparently at some point, I don't know when this happened. It's supposed to be in the very beginning of the episode. Yeah, it was. I completely skipped over it. But Shishio's gang, there's a group of 4 individuals that are telling one of the leaders that they messed up. They got caught by some of the patrollers, and like they're begging for forgiveness. And he gives it to him only for I think his name's Usui is like somewhere apparently. I don't know how that dude. He really. They need to put a bell on him or something. I don't know how he's getting around so easily without being spotted until he says something. But Usui is like, we shouldn't set a bad precedent for failure, and he pretty much threatens to kill all 4 of them in front of everybody. But then Discount Giovanni is like, we need everybody here. Still calling him Discount Giovanni because that's what he looks like to me. But Discount Giovanni saves them, so we need every last person. Even though you probably could kill enough for all four of them, like you wouldn't be able to spread spread as far as they would be able to. But that was a kind of a cool, interesting way to I guess explain like, why he was keeping them and why he was defending them. But kind of makes me wonder, like, I never really thought about this much, but I wonder how strong this guy Giovanni is. I never thought about it too much. I thought he was just some like intel head or something like that, but it might actually looks like he might actually be a fighter.
Yeah.
It's like his whole entire presence kind of caught me off guard there. I don't know how strong he is. So there's like a lot of people here I'm noticing they're like might actually be a fighter of some sort, but I guess we won't know until the fire starts.
I imagine he's not as good a fighter as the others, though. I imagine he's not like up to the par of the 10 swords or anything.
Isn't he a tin sword or no?
I don't think he is he? If he's a 10 sword, he definitely is a good fighter.
Huh. I don't know, actually. I need to go back and look at the episode again, because I know they counted the 10 swords there. I don't know if he was among them. I feel like I would remember if he was, though. I wonder... Can we look up 10 swords really quick? Well, in this image, he's in there.
Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah, he's plenty powerful.
Oh, that's the live action depiction of them. Interesting. Alright. Yeah, he's definitely depicted as a 10 sword. Okay, that's cool. Well, I'll still keep calling him Discount Giovanni because it makes it easier for me to remember him versus his actual name, whatever that name is. Because I never did learn it.
I'm back to like not knowing any names anymore again.
But after that, I'm just gonna like her name is Yumi, but like Shishio's girlfriend shows up to go gather at all the men to meet up in the courtyard, I guess, to talk with Shishio. And Shishio has this like, we're gonna go and do this, we're gonna succeed, speech. He's like, you go like take the fat of the lamb. They didn't say those words, but it's basically he's saying, kill who you don't think is worthy to live, and I guess like gather the those that you don't think are worthy to live, which basically means kill everybody in Kyoto because they rejected you. And there's a lot of people in the room, and they're saying Shishio-sama. That was interesting. And also in that room we have two sword dude who Ayoshi Shinomori, who's in there too, apparently just watching this. I don't know why they pan over him really quick, but they do. Yeah, he's just in the background watching. So I don't know what he gains from letting this happen, though. I will say that much. He's plenty strong enough to stop some of these people. Honestly, if he wanted, he could wipe the entire room out if he cared. And we pan from there. We go back to Tokyo, where like the other characters we grown to care about, like the I guess it's like the owner of the restaurant down there in Tokyo, and wondering, because it's quiet apparently, about all the people, Kenshin, Kaoru, everybody down there, because they're in Kyoto right now. And then we pan back over to the coffee restaurant of the girl's older sister. I find it interesting though, she kind of doesn't take any nonsense from Sonosuke. I do like that there's a difference between her and they're like, she doesn't let someone else get away with eating free food.
Yeah, he reduces those things to splinters though, the wood, when he works off his debt.
I wonder if
I
she.
don't know. I don't know if she wanted him to reduce them to splinters.
No, I think she wanted him to cut them in half so she can use them as firewood, but
Yeah.
Sanosuke doesn't use axes, he uses his fists, so there's that. I don't think he worked off his debt though. I had a strange suspicion that I think when we're done here, Sanosuke's still gonna be in Kyoto and Airbus is gonna be over in Tokyo. He'll be there for a little bit trying to work out his actual debt, whatever, you know, she has him do.
Are you talking like sexual stuff?
No.
Sounded like you were talking about sexual stuff.
No, I don't think she's into him like that.
Maybe she is. She seemed like she had a big smile on her face.
Where was this? I do not remember this.
She was smiling through the whole thing, except when she told him to cut wood.
I think that's just her. That's just her. I don't. That's not a stale face. I don't know, like her usual face. I don't think that really means anything.
If a girl's smiling at me like that, I would think she likes me. I think she's gonna have him do sexual favors for her. I think Canigulus is not off the table.
Moving on.
She let him eat, now he has to eat her out. It's only justice.
Moving on. I hate the segue to now we talk about two other girls. Karu and Misao are now really apparently got a notification of that there was a Kenshin lookalike in the town. And he got taken by the police. I thought it was kind of funny that they brought that up. And then we apparently from there we jump to Saito at his like headquarters smoking a lot of cigarettes. This man, I don't know how he's breathing. He's got to have lung cancer.
Yeah, if not, he's about to have it in 10 minutes.
Yeah. man smokes an entire case of cigarettes, gets instant cancer, more than 11.
Think about like the pace at which you smoke too. Like, if you smoke a case of cigarettes in a day, like, does that do more damage than doing a case of cigarettes over the course of a month?
Wow.
Seems like it would.
I don't know. I mean, teach their own. People want to do what they want to do. At Saito's headquarters, I guess this is his headquarters, he's speaking to, I guess the guy, I think he calls him chief or something like that, the dude he's speaking to, and like they were gonna he had to like gather all the police officers that he can, because they're gonna need their help to deal with the Kyoto fire in Kyoto. So apparently all the police officers they managed to gather from Osaka. I think they say it here, right? The people that they got. Yeah, they got a backup coming from Osaka, Shiga, and Fukui. I think it's how you pronounce those last two. Look, another name? No, there's like roughly 1,000 officers, you know, will gather by evening, which, good lord, that's a lot of people. They do that, and I believe Kenshin like shows up not too soon after. Yep, Kenshin shows like up not too soon after. And they're like, and Saito's like, a carriage, and this is another one of the situations where I keep forgetting the time period that we're in. Typically carriages are like a sign of like, I guess, a power sign or whatever like that. Like, you know, like if you're able to ride a carriage or if you own a carriage, it's just a sign of like how much money you have. Because again, this wasn't a common thing. If anything, they usually rode horses, but like I keep forgetting the time period they were in. It's like the fact that he's like shocked that a carriage showed up. It was like, okay, that makes a lot more sense. Then he's shocked to see Kenshin in it, like walk out, and he just pretty much talks to Kenshin. And he's like, "So, did you get your Basically, he says, "Did you get you get your will back from being the Datosai?" And the kid is like, "Well, we'll see about that." As he just stares back at him, smiling.
He's being really enigmatic in this episode in general.
Who, Kenshin?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, he's
See,
got a fine teacher.
everything seems to be making him happy, and he's not giving a lot of straight answers.
We'll see what a lot of this ends up when when the actual fight happens.
Yeah. Pretty serious business. The ambush that they're talking about.
I guess
Like when your plan is so big that you burn down a major Japanese city just as a distraction.
Yeah, I guess now we're at this point we can talk about this. Pretty much Saito lets him in on like the Kyoto fire. Kenshin's like, oh, but then Kenshin's like, I don't know, something that doesn't seem right. And then they bring up that apparently a war or whatever happened, a fire happened before, and it was also a distraction. And the chief managed to, or like I guess not the minister, shoot, we want to call him a king, but like one of the guys that they were after managed to get a distraction by setting fire to a province, and then managed to go on water to get to where he was, to get to a safe place so he didn't get killed, which determined the ending of the war. Is the same thing that Shisho apparently is trying to do here, but he's not trying to get to a safe place. He's trying to distract people so he can take down Tokyo. And I was like, good lord, that's a lot of fire. Just to set fire to another spot. And they realize that's what's actually going on with Shisho, which is like why he let two men get captured, and the beans fly out that because the beans fall, that that they're setting fire to Kyoto. I want to bring up something too. Is apparently they make reference to another incident that actually did happen in real life.
What is that?
I'm looking for it. That's kind of why I kind of stopped talking. Just wanna. I might have already passed it. Also, too, they're gonna shoot Tokyo from the sea with a boat with a cannon. That's gonna be interesting to see. I think I already passed it. What was the name of the? Yeah, there's like the they make mention here I think Ikeda incident. Let me just. This is actually making mention of something that actually did happen. The Ikeda incident is also known as the Ikeda affair or the Ikeda riot. Was an armed encounter between the Shishi, which included masterless samurai, formerly employed by the Chosu, Tosa. Sorry, gotta get new music. Apparently, employed by Chosu, Tosa, and Higo domains. Han. Estate of the Daimyo in Edo. Okay. in the Shinsengumi, the Bakufu Special Police Force in Kyoto. So this incident was an encounter, an armed encounter between a lot of people. This happened in July 8th of 1864. Like the Shinsengumi were involved. Some people in the Chosu domain, the Tosa domain, and the Haiga domain. Strength 34, 10 people, the Kondo group in Ikedaya. 24 people. I know I'm just saying a lot of words here. Apparently 1 was killed, 4 were injured. Of the 4, 2 later died of their injuries. 8 killed, 23 arrested. The battle ended in 2 hours.
Oh wow!
And it was in Japan.
And how many were killed again?
8 killed and 23 arrested.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Like that was like a reference to that, like something that actually did happen in in rural Japan. I didn't really look too far into this, but I looked at it because I thought it was interesting. That it seemed like they might have been referring to something that happened. They have a list on the Shinsengumi apparently. A lot of other names here too. The hell? Saito Hajime. Oh, so this is the character he based that character off of. Okay. I think he told me this already. I guess I just didn't see his face. Hmm. Oh, this guy was born on February 18th. Oh. The more you knew, the more you know, the more you didn't know. Oh, this guy's lateness gets used in a lot of other anime things, not just Rurouni Kenshin. But he gets parried in Gintama? I didn't know that. Huh. Yeah, he shows up in a lot of stuff apparently. Alright, but yeah, they find out that what's going on in Kyoto is going to be a big fire, and then I guess their plan is to go to Tokyo to stop him. I don't know how they're going to stop a cannon fire from the sea.
They must have some navy, right?
Based on what's going on, it's they got a lot of people diverted from there. I don't know if there's going to be any navy nearby in time to stop him, unless they maybe the police officers they called aren't even a part of the water force. So it's possible that maybe they got navy nearby. I don't know. It would make sense they got navy nearby. But yeah, Shishio is really gonna have, like, he's gonna burn a lot of places. He's gonna burn 2 places in Japan in the name of his burning down the regime. First, they end the episode there with that information. Well, actually, not right before that. As Kenshin's about to go off and do his own thing by himself, he gets caught by Sanosuke, who punches him in the gut and knocks him out. But yeah, I think it's the first time that Kenshin and Sanosuke have seen each other since last season. As yeah, that's correct. Like, since this season started, they hadn't seen each other or talked to each other. They had not seen each other for like 17 episodes. That's cool. But yeah, the episode ends there with him meeting Sonosuke, and Sonosuke telling him, like, I'm here to be of use for to you. It's cool that, you know, he has a lot of people that want to help him out, and it seems like he's more willing to let them do it too. At least now he is. Before he wasn't. And with that, I guess we can start talking about that now. That's over. I think. Yep, that's about it. And then all that's left is, I guess, whatever little we could say about Dragon Prince.
Dragon Prince is good stuff this time.
Dragon Prince. I guess all I can say is, like, what a interesting show. You got me on pins and needles for the last episode. Literal pins and needles. I can't wait to watch it. I can't wait to watch it. It's going to be really good. Yeah, we won't have to wait too long. Just really quick, because there's anything of note. This episode pretty much is like a big old war between Erebos and you know, everybody else. A lot of people die. Like Soul Regum dies in a pool of crust.
A cheap shot. It's kind of a cheap shot that he dies from. He's distracted by the entrance of the Dragon Queen, and then like the guy comes out of nowhere and bites him.
I was shocked at a few things with that. After the bite, the fact that Sorrigan was bleeding lava or magma, I'm like, wait, how's he? Like, I was very shocked that I was like, how has he got magma coursing through his body? But I guess it would make sense considering he's a dragon. He's a very old being. It just wasn't something I was expecting, but I guess it would make sense considering he's like an earthen dragon versus like being like a dragon of the sky and whatnot. Granted, he can still fly, but it was very shocking to see that he had magma in him and he just slowly crumbled to death, like literally just crumbled and died. First time you bring the question, I want to do old dragons die that way, but then you did bring up the fact that the other dragon that was killed by arrows, he has a skeleton down there. So maybe each dragon just has a unique death. Like that was very strange. Got a couple of core things that happened in this episode. Kareem, the brother of Janai, he dies.
Like a dog. Like a bug.
The guy literally threatens Erebos.
Erebos just kind of listens to him for a few seconds with a smile on his face, then squishes him.
Yeah, that was very weird. Like I was like, is he gonna kill him or is he gonna really take him up on this offer? I was like, no, if he kills him, and I just sat there laughing.
And then you see him like kind of like wiping his hand off on his shirt.
I mean, I would do that too. I don't want
all the goo and blood.
Speaking of blood, I think you said that this is the only instance of like red blood in this show, which was very shocking that they waited to the final season to do that.
Except Claudia, when she's casting that freeze spell on Rex Igneous that was holding him in place, she has a bloody nose in that scene, and it's red.
But this episode just has a lot of first in terms of blood. I was like waiting for the moment he crushes Kareem. Yep, there he goes. Oh, and there he goes.
Squelch.
That looks like a lot of red paint.
It's so abrupt and like it's so like set aside in the episode. Like he just does it and then like they move on. There's so much going on that they don't have time to react to him dying or the dragon dying. It's just like everything is so intense that like reactions are like just a luxury they can't afford right now.
I mean, Janai was crying a little bit that her brother was dead. I don't know whether she was crying that he got crushed or that her brother was still going to betray her at the last moment.
I thought she was crying because the sun was being blotted out.
Was she crying after the? I can't find it. Hold up, let me. I wonder what Kareem was thinking he was gonna get out of Erebos. Cause he obviously thought he was gonna get something out of him. There, so I guess maybe I don't know exactly where she would have, where that's the exact scene that she was crying. I can't find it.
She'd be just crying for a lot of reasons at once too. There's plenty to cry about going on.
Yeah, that's true. After Kareem's death, his so deserved death. I feel bad, but I also don't really feel all that bad. It's like he had this coming. He spent like so many seasons just being an antagonist for no reason. Let's see here. Beyond that, I think he actually, wait a minute. Does he? No. After that, after killing Kareem, he ends up we flip back to Ezran and the queen of the other kingdom. As the sun is coming up, and the sun saves them at the last second from all the shadow creatures. But then
for the last time, because then the sun goes away shortly afterwards.
As I was about to say, like we flip back, and Arrow's got the sun crystal, and he apparently turns the sun crystal into like a nexus or like a crystal for his giant staff of power, and then he uses that to like blot out the sun, which is an interesting like little like animation that they play out there as the sun's being blotted out, and it causes like a small arena of dark energy swirling Erebos. And all the creatures that were let out are all able to freely roam about the the world of living and do what they want. Which I guess is a very interesting looking like scene here. All the purple and dark blue. And then you flip back over to Ezra, and he's just very angry at his uselessness. And then he brings up Erebos telling him about how to kill him. And for whatever reason, that causes Ezra to think about that the sword is nearby, which is interesting. And they find out that sword is really nearby, and apparently the statue of his ancestor is the one that was holding it. Which I still kind of just find kind of weird and kind of convenient, but I mean, oh well, it works. I wonder how Erebos knew that she had it buried with her close by. That is also another weird tidbit of information he dropped. Maybe Erebos isn't all that concerned about the sword. Again, makes me think that there's gotta be more to the killing him thing than just stabbing him with the tooth of a archdragon, or him getting bit by one. Though I say that, and in the next scene we see Erebos is having fun, time of his life. And then the Archdragon Souldragon shows up out of nowhere. It comes flying down and tries to bite him. And Erebos is looking kind of panicked there. Like the expression on his face, the Souldragon's trying to, bite him in the wherever he's trying to bite him. I don't know. Like, I feel like if I was Souldragon, I would try biting him on the body, not his face. Okay, am I wrong to assume that?
You talking about the dragon?
Yeah. It's like a scene like where he jumps down on Souldragon jumps down right on the Erebos, and Erebos is like keeping him at bay with the tusk on his face. Because like Souldragon was trying to
stab him with those tusks.
You know what? You're not wrong. Though it's kind of weird. You'd think that like Erebos would try snapping those tusks off his face then. Because the immediate pain would have sent Sorghum back on his knees.
Yeah.
Didn't even consider it, but I thought at first he's just trying to bite him for some really strange reason. I wonder if the Archdragons even know that they hold the power to kill him within their mouths. Or maybe they do and they already know about the whole Erebos could just come back in 7 years. That's gotta be an annoying thing to deal with, is just the villain can come back and cause you problems in 7 years.
I mean, yeah. I mean, 7 years is better than nothing.
Yeah, but you'd rather be done with him versus having like to prepare. I guess you can still prepare for him in the next 7 years. There's nothing stopping you. Like you saw Regum like kind of causes problems for Erebos, and Erebos is like, "I got a present for you," and all of a sudden the King of the Dragons shows up out of nowhere, and then he's like, "Wait, it's you! Like, how can it be?" And then he has this whole like, he has this whole speech about like being how like you, how can you be like this, or how can you let yourself be used as a puppet? I'm just like, the dude's dead, man. He's not even in there. He is like long gone. It's like he is just now a beast being in trouble with Erebos. It's kind of surprising how like everything kind of escalated so quickly with him as soon as Erebos got a chance to get freed from his prison. Like Erebos did not waste any time getting everything he needed. And then Sora and the gang come flying in, seeing the fight that's happening.
Erebos moved very quickly. I wonder I wonder if this was his whole plan, or if he wasn't going to stop and he was going to continue to wreak havoc.
No, I think he said this was his whole plan. Apparently, they tried stopping him this exact same way many years ago. He's just repeating what he did so long ago.
Mm-hmm. Why is Claudia helping him?
I think you already asked this question. There's no answer to it.
I did. I still don't. We decided it was father figure stuff, but like, I don't know.
It could be way more complicated than that, and we freaking know. It's possible that Claudia had a change of heart, but she's trying to see if she can get Erebos to do the exact same thing. I don't know. Who knows what's going through Claudia's mind right now? She also might think that she's too far in, she's too deep in here, and she's just got to continue what she's been doing.
Yeah. Do you think Terry will finally tell them that they have to stop her? He's still trying to save her.
I don't think I think he's still gonna hang on to, you know, the love he feels for her. I don't think he's gonna tell them to kill her. I think I think Claudia will die, but it's gonna probably be of some outside force that has nothing to do with Soren or Terry. It's gonna probably be maybe like an accident. It's like my thought process. Like it might just be an accident, whatever kills Claudia.
Yeah.
Sorghum ends up dying at some like later on in the episode to a bite. After Zubeia comes in, you know, begging Sorghum to not attack her husband, and after he dies, she's like, now she's in there by herself with her husband, begging him to like snap can come to his senses. I'm just like, lady, no, don't do this right now. We don't need you in here. We don't need you dying. Wait a minute. Here's a scene with her crying. Wait. Nope, that is okay. Never mind. I probably skipped over. I mean, we already kind of, there's a lot to cry about here, and you just probably one of those things that she was crying about. It is interesting that Claudia is still helping him out this far, though. I mean, it is a interesting idea. Callum and the gang shows up, and then like Erebos is pretty sure. At this point, Erebos thinks he's won. He just pretty much keeps on he keeps on hammering, and I'm the one trying to help you out. Like the Star Touch elves don't care about you at all. Yada yada, same things over and over again. The same half troops, whatever. Callum he's pretty much Erebos is pretty sure that you can't kill him because he'll just come back within 7 years. We already discussed this, and there's no way to seal him because they already killed the elf that was going to be able to make the sealing prison. Well, Claudia killed her. And all of a sudden Callum comes in here and he's like, I got a plan. And apparently it's the coin that he freed Rurouni from. And there was like, if you use dark magic, once the sealing's done, I'll be able to take control of you. And then Callum's like, yeah, I got a plan for that. And he's like, I'm gonna have get myself killed by an assassin from the shadow the Shadow Elves? I think that's what they call it, the Shadow Elves. The Moon Shadow Elves, but Erebos kind of brings the fact that Rayla hasn't killed anybody, and he's like, oh, I know, I'm not asking her. And then we see Rurouni in the balcony up there with the arrows pointed directly at Callum as he's about to do the summoning ritual, and then Rayla's like, no, please don't. And, basically, we have this set up for it looks like Callum's gonna die. I still don't think I feel like they're gonna rug pull us. I don't know how they're gonna do it. They did it before with Aang, with finding energy bending in that turtle. I think Korra, it was her resetting the avatar cycle. I think that's the rug pull they did for her. But they can either still do a rug pull here. I don't know what they would rug pull here specifically, but there's still enough time for them to pull it.
I don't know. I'm really, really interested in where this is going to go.
Yeah, me too. What is going on here? Why am I dropping frames like crazy? Wow, I cannot believe I've been dropping I'm now sitting at 445,000 frames. What the heck? How is this looking on Twitch, I wonder? This is a good time I need to work towards a stopping. Stream manager. Yeah, got it. I don't see anything wrong with the stream. I guess we're just I don't know how far back the stream is right now. It's definitely not where we are right now. All right, I guess with that, the episode pretty much ends with that